Well, President Trump, as you know, if you're watching this network, was in Nashville, Tennessee, campaigning for Tennessee Congressman and Senate candidate Marsha Blackburn. Roll tape.
We need Marsha and the Senate to continue the amazing progress and work that we've done over the last year and a half.
By the way, there's a kind of a sidebar story here. The New York Times reported that only 1,000 people showed up for the event. Well, they were way off. The reporter for the Times issued this correction. President Trump is correct about his crowd last night. My estimate was way off, and we have corrected our story to reflect the fire marshal's estimate of 5,500 people. When we get it wrong, we say so. Joining us now, Tennessee Congresswoman and Senate candidate Marsha Blackburn herself. So, why do you think... I don't know whether the Times did this deliberately, but I suspect they were looking for a potential negative, that Mr. Trump doesn't bring out the crowds. What do you think?
Oh, I think that they are so wrong about this. And it doesn't matter, Stu, if it was 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, or 20,000 people. The point is that people camped out overnight to get into that arena and to see President Trump and to be there to cheer me on in this Senate race. And we appreciate that. And the New York Times continues to miss the story. Sure. The American people appreciate the agenda of Donald Trump. Lower taxes are working. Low unemployment is working. People like what he's doing on the national security front. And so, yes, they show up to listen, and if they're not there, they tune in.
Now, President Trump, during his speech that night, he referred to your competitor, that will be Phil Bredesen, referred to him as a nobody. Well, that's not quite accurate, because he was a very popular, I think, former governor in the state of Tennessee. So you've got a fight on your hands.
We know that this is going to be a close race. That's what we've said all along. My opponent is someone who was governor, and this is his 4th statewide race. It is my first statewide race. But we know that Tennesseans want their Tennessee values to work for them in Washington, D.C. That's one of the things they've always appreciated about my representation of them in Congress. I take those Tennessee values to D.C. to work, and then I'm home every weekend talking to people, talking to Tennesseans, and hearing about the things they want to talk about, which is securing that border, more conservative judges on the bench, lowering taxes. The economic growth that you're seeing in Tennessee is just really so significant, and people like the fact that the tax cuts are working. They want to see more of them. They know my opponent had said he would have voted against them.
Marsha, I think I'm right in saying that Tennessee is one of the biggest beneficiaries of the tax reform package, because I don't think you've got a state income tax in Tennessee, do you?
You do not. I led the fight against that state income tax back in the late 90s and early 2000s and won that fight. Ashley Webster, who's been on the set with you, was in Nashville during that time. Yes. And it was a 4-year fight. But the people of the state stood with me. We fought that state income tax. It's one of the reasons your buddy and mine, Art Laffer, ended up moving to Tennessee because we have no state income tax, and it is vibrant and is considered one of the best places in the country for business.
Well, Marsha, Art Laffer was on the show on Tuesday. He's a big fan of yours, and he made his presence very much felt. Marsha, we wish you best of luck in your election, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye now.